Start. Okay, so I started recording now. Okay, let us start from where we left. Where we left in the morning. I think in the morning I took
Parallel
it
axis
up to
perpendicular theorem.
perpendicular. That I wanted to take. I think I did not start it yet. I will
Yes,
have to
sir.
start it now. So I have to start it now.
There's still only 20 members came.
So it is their mistake. They are not coming, and I told in the morning itself that I will be taking class. I cannot wait for them. I will start now. Where were we? Wait a second. Just you tell me. Can you see the screen? I think you can see now.
Yes, sir.
You can see it.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
And there is our 11th class. And in 11th class, we have this torque perpendicular axis here. Right. So the perpendicular axis theorem, first of all, it is applicable only for planar lamina, we can say. It is applicable for planar lamina. What is meaning of lamina?
Sheet.
You said plane, sir.
Planar lamina. Lamina means sheet. It is applicable for such things only, not for every other thing. For planar lamina or for planar sheet, which lies in one plane only. And what does this theorem state? So, without wasting much time,
Good evening, sir.
it is good evening. It is valid for irregular sheets. It has to be just plane, lying in one plane. If a sheet lies in one plane, then we can apply perpendicular axis theorem, and doesn't matter whether the sheet is circular or square shaped or triangular, whatever shape or any other irregular shape, but it should be lying in one plane. Let us say it lies in X, Y plane. X, Y plane. It is lying in this. And this body may not be passing through the center of mass also. It may be anywhere. It may be lying in XY plane, and those X and Y axes may not even lie on the body. Those may be lying outside also, no problem. But as long as this body lies in the same plane as XY plane, then we can apply on it. And what is the statement of the theorem, and what does it, I will, rather than stating is more difficult, but it is much easy to write it mathematical equation is very easy, and I will just prefer to give mathematical equation. That is enough. Xi, yi, mi particle. Xi is the distance from y axis. Yi is the perpendicular distance from x axis. Right or not? Of this small particle on this. So our formula was net moment of inertia will be sigma mi. Let us say I want to find out about z axis. Then sigma mi ri square. Can somebody tell me what will be what will be moment of inertia about z axis? This is z axis here. I'm not drawing it because it is out of the plane. You know, this dot I'm representing here.
It will be mr square, sir. M into root over x, m into xi square plus y square.
You are right that I can write this r. This
Yes,
is
sir.
r here.
Root over x square plus y square.
Yes.
Ri, and that I can write as you said, bracket xi square
Plus
plus
y square.
yi square.
Okay,
No,
sir.
no need of
Cancel.
that is cancelled. No need of that. This is our iz value, which I can further now write mi into xi squared plus sigma mi into yi squared. But that means I about which axis? y-axis.
Y-axis, sir.
That
Z
means I
axis.
about which axis?
Okay, sir. IY plus IX equal to IZ.
So what is the formula simply? IZ is equal to
IY
IX plus
IY.
IY. But don't remember this thing actually. Means if I say
means
that if I say that the planar body lies in YZ plane, if it lies in YZ plane, then IY plus IZ
Yes,
will
sir.
be IX.
That means perpendicular plane will be equal to sum of the parallel term.
Yes, moment of inertia. Yes, in perpendicular axis. This is
Yes, yes, sir.
perpendicular axis. It will be equal to these all are perpendicular. X, Y, and Z. These are three mutually perpendicular. But body is lying in XY
For
plane.
plane. For
Body
body
is lying in XY plane. Yes, body is lying in XY plane. Then in the third axis, which does not lie in the plane of the body, about that axis, moment of inertia is obtained by sum of individual moment of inertia, which are known to already to us. Why it is helpful? It will be helpful in many places. I will start giving examples now. One example was waiting from the
Diametric.
morning.
Yes, sir.
Diametric example. Let us take this example. This will be helpful here. This is our x-axis, and this one is our y-axis.
Yes.
I don't know what is ix. I don't know what is iy. I can draw here also.
Now we can
This is
draw
our-
perpendicular line.
This is our x-axis, let us say, and this is our y-axis, let us say. Okay. And now I can take third axis, which is perpendicular to this,
Yes, sir.
and let us call x, y, z. This is z axis. And I know what is iz, but I don't know what are ix and iy. But I know that by symmetry I can tell that whatever is
Yes,
moment
sir.
of
Both are
inertia about
equal,
x,
sir.
these will be equal by symmetry. If these are equal, why don't we just call it as I diametric axis? Because it is about diametric axis, so I am calling it as I dia or ID simply. Then ID into ID I dia plus I dia will be equal to IZ, or 2 into I about diametric axis is equal to I about this perpendicular axis,
Yeah, down this.
Z axis. So what do we get then? Or we can say, let us, rather than saying IZ, I'm just saying it as 2 into IX, because IX and IY are equal. Let us call it 2 into IX is equal to IZ. So I am getting I about the perpendicular axis, Z axis, divided by 2 will be moment of inertia about the diametric axis. X axis is the diametric axis.
You consider it as a linear disc, sir.
Here X and Y axes are both diametric axis, and these are mutually perpendicular. But Z axis is not the diametric one. That we know. What is the formula about Z axis? If it is a disk,
X plus LB.
Disc MR square by 2. sir.
we already remember it from the morning class. It is MR
Mass
square
square
by
Mass square by
2.
Square by 2.
Again divide by 2. That is I about diametric axis. So I about diametric axis just
MR
becomes
square by 4.
MR square by 4.
Very nice. You remember this now. I about diametric. Now at last, let me write it as I about diametric is equal to this thing. And for disk, this is only applicable for obviously for disk, obviously. So for disk, I about diametric axis is equal to MR square by 4. Another formula number, what was the number? I think already 3, 4 are
This
done.
one new, sir. 5 we can.
5, sir.
It is 5, huh?
4,
And this,
4,
this deserves very much important respect. It is really very important, very, very important. Never to forget it ever. And also, not just remember IZ is equal to IX plus IY. I said that it could become IX equal to IY plus IZ depending upon the situation. So we should remember that in our situation where we are writing this formula, their X and Y axis are in the plane of body, and this is the axis
That is
which is
perpendicular.
perpendicular to plane. Perpendicular to plane, and these two are in the plane of body. And because we are discussing about plane, so it is valid only for planar bodies, not for other bodies. The bodies which have negligible thickness and which are just like a thin sheet lying in the same plane. For those bodies only this formula will be applicable,
Valid.
otherwise not. So good, we got this now, and we can use this thing now to find out for the ring as well. Ring.
Also same.
What will be for
IZ
this?
plus MR square by 2.
Same method. For the ring also, exactly same way.
Yes.
Taking
Is equal to MR.
IZ is only different, sir. MR square.
IZ is only different. Remaining all IX. It
M
is
square by 2
IY
you will get.
and
Both are symmetrical
IX
on
plus
sir, here also.
IY is equal to IZ. 2
IZ.
into IX is equal to IZ.
IZ.
IX is equal to IZ by 2,
Z by 2.
which is this
M
time
R square by
MR
2.
square by 2.
By 2.
So for the
Yes, sir.
ring, I about diametric axis for the ring. For a ring, it comes out to be MR square by 2. This one is again one more formula here. So let us call it number 5, number 6. Okay, these are the formula that we are having. Next, same thing we can apply for the triangular sheet now. If I have a triangular sheet, let us say it is a sheet. Sorry, let me make it sheet first of all. It is a triangular sheet. Okay, and in this triangular sheet, we have two axes again. One is, as you know, one I will take in this direction, and the other one I will take in perpendicular to that direction. And this one I will call as IY as usual, and this one I will call as IX as usual. Perpendicular one will be IZ. So again, length, let me give the length. This length is, let us say, given as L, and this
Yes,
one
sir.
I can take
B.
as
B.
B. And when nothing is mentioned, all are uniform only. All these things are uniform. So we are getting ML square by 12 is I about Y axis, if you remember it from the morning class.
Yes, sir. Remember.
And I about
sir.
X axis is
MB square by 12, sir.
by
B
12.
square by 12.
Then
Yes,
I
sir.
about perpendicular axis. I
Sum
about
of
the
both.
perpendicular axis will be IZ will be equal to
X plus
Sum
I.
of both, sir.
Y plus
ML.
IX, M by 12 taken common, L square
Square
plus
plus B
B
square.
square. This is IZ. Again, one more formula which we know, and this is, let us say, number 7. Don't talk. 7. This I can apply for the square also, square plate, because square is also like a rectangle.
Yes, sir.
No?
There
Yes,
M
sir.
equals to B, we can write, sir, directly.
Yes,
Then
sir.
it will
ML square
become
by
ML
6.
square by 6.
M square by
let
6.
us say,
MA square by 6.
L and T
yes,
are same percent.
if I say it is of A side length, then it will become MA square by 6.
Yes.
So we know for this square. We know for the square about which axis? We know for the square about Z
Z
axis. And
axis.
all the otherwise, about other axis we were already knowing.
XY plane.
It is A. IY, IZ. we
MA
were
square by
knowing
12, MA
IZ
square by 12, sir.
2 into IX, which is equal to M into A square by 12 plus into 2. So that is at last I about Z is equal
MA
to
square by 6.
MA square by 6. Let us remember this one also. So plenty of formulae are building up now, but all these are based on same idea only, so we can do easily. Let us say number 8. Although it is not 8, in fact it is like 7A, 7B, but okay, I'm calling it as 8. A square is important special case. And square, okay, some other thing that I will discuss later on. Symmetry I will discuss later on. 7 done, 8 done. Next we have one case now, stretch rule. Let us apply the stretch rule for the triangular lamina, rectangular lamina, rectangular. Triangular I will come after this at last. After that I will come triangular and the cone, etc. Those I will come at last. This is a rectangular sheet, and for this, as I told you, we can draw the diagram this way. Now it is perpendicular axis. From the diagram it is evident or not?
Yes,
The
sir.
diagram,
Yes, sir.
Understands.
from the diagram you can understand. Let us say it is our x-axis, y-axis, and it is our z-axis here. I about z we want to find, and that will be as usual. This is here 90-degree angle, 90, 90, 90. It is not a parallelogram. It is a
Rectangular, sir.
Rectangles.
because we are looking from the from such
Side,
rectangle.
side view, sir.
Side view. It is side view. So length is L and width is B. But I want to do something here. What I want to do? I want to
Cuboid.
yes, I want to stretch it.
Yes, sir.
I want to stretch
Okay,
it
sir.
parallel to.
All that.
I want to
Perfect.
parallel to which axis I am stretching? I am stretching parallel to Z axis. You notice it. It is being
Okay, sir,
stretched
okay.
parallel to the Z
Z
axis. And when I did that, what we end up getting by doing that?
Cuboid.
Cuboid, sir.
Yes, exactly right. We are getting cuboid when we are stretching parallel to the z-axis. So we know the formula will remain same for the cuboid also now.
Yes, sir.
And I about z-axis, I about x, and I about y, we cannot say quickly. That will be different story. But at least I about z, I'm able to tell quickly now. And that is m into L square plus b square by 12 for a cuboid. It is a cuboid. We are able to say for the cuboid. And about which axis we are able to say?
About Z.
About means what meaning? What is the meaning? Don't say Z. Z means if somebody says the other one is Z, then what we will do?
Parallel to H.
That axis, which is
Perpendicular to plane, sir.
Perpendicular to the body.
Plane.
Face.
Plane of the
this
Perpendicular
one
to
face.
Perpendicular to
One
the
face you take.
Perpendicular.
It is perpendicular to one face passing to the center. Perpendicular to one face and passing to the center.
Center.
And the face, which face? That face which has lengths given L and B. That face. I'm not talking about the face which has some other length H. It is not dependent on that. Whatever the H may be, because we can stretch as much and we can compress as much, but it doesn't depend on that. So answer will depend on this L and B only. Understood? This is
Yes,
for
sir.
cuboid.
Sir, understood, sir.
After cuboid, I'm thinking of now jumping on to the case of easier first.
Triangular.
Cube is same. You that I'm leaving now. You do for the cube also same thing. Now I will jump for the case of. I wanted to make a. What it looks like.
Sphere.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I wanted to do that only. But which sphere it looks like? Hollow or solid?
Solid.
It is hollow.
Hollow,
It is
sir,
hollow.
because the diameter, but middle circle is there.
Yes, it is hollow. It is a hollow sphere, and if you are not thinking that it looks like hollow sphere, then I will just remove this circle in this shaded portion. But it has to be a hollow sphere. It is a hollow sphere. Okay.
Now it is. Now it is.
So let us say it is x, it is y, and it is z. If I ask you moment of inertia, if I give you moment of inertia about any one of these axes, can you determine about the other two or not? Moment of inertia about x is I.
Sir,
Then
we can
what
determine,
is
sir.
about this?
We can.
What is about Ix is same as Iy is same
Symmetrical,
as
sir.
Iz
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
for
Yes, sir.
Same.
uniform
Hollow sphere.
Sphere. Hollow sphere.
spherical
Sphere.
thin shell
Yeah.
or hollow sphere also we can say.
Hollow or
Sir, for solid or
Hollow sphere also.
solid for both.
Both
It
it
is
will
hollow.
be symmetry on. Yes, the symmetry.
No, that thing is applicable for solid and hollow both. But right now I am discussing case of
Hollow only.
Yes, sir.
hollow. Right now I am discussing case of hollow sphere of mass m and radius capital R. Now you tell me that if I take one particle here, mi, which is at a distance, some r, distance will be always r, obviously, it will not be changing, but it has coordinates x, comma, or xi, comma, yi, comma,
Okay.
zi. Okay. Now tell me, what is the moment of inertia about which axis first? About x-axis first. What is the moment of inertia about x-axis?
Mi into
Sigma.
sigma mi into root or vi square plus zi square, sir. Without root.
yi square plus
Plus zi square.
I square.
Yes, sir.
Why this? Why this thing?
Because
X coordinate becomes
x coordinate it won't be. No.
Yes, sir.
Yes, because the
X is
perpendicular
0,
distance.
sir. Yes, sir.
X
So
coordinate
x when we
zero.
want to no x coordinate may not be 0 of this particle, x coordinate may not be 0, but I am saying that when we take the perpendicular distance up to the axis, then perpendicular distance up to x axis, that depends only on y coordinate and
The coordinates.
z coordinate.
Yes, sir.
Perpendicular, because we whenever we write the formula sigma mi ri square, I am writing mi ri, but it should be ri perpendicular everywhere. That is in your mind only. I told you already in the beginning, although this
Remember,
is ri
sir.
perpendicular. So you should remember ri perpendicular. And if you are confused that it could be any ri, not any ri, it has to be perpendicular ri, perpendicular to the axis. So if I have to take perpendicular to axis, then that will depend only on
I
which
have to take
components.
only Y and Z only.
Yes, only y and z. Similarly, when I
Yes.
will take iy, then it will be sigma mi
Xi
into
square
other
plus zi square it will
two,
become,
I
sir.
square plus
Remaining, sir.
zi square. Similarly, iz will be sigma
X square plus Y square.
mi into xi square plus yi square. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Adding these three. Let us add these three. What do we get? In left hand side, I get 3ix because all are equal.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Adding
Here,
1, 2, and 3. What we are getting? 3ix.
2 sigma mi of xi square plus y
Sigma
square
mi into 2
into
xi
yes, sir.
square yi square plus zi square. But I know already what is
It is
this total.
Looking resultant only, sir. Position vector, magnitude.
That is r. That is total radius. Total
Yes.
r. So what is ix coming out to be then? Ix is coming out to be 2 into. Fortunately,
2 by
r is
3
constant. 2 by 3. R square is just constant only into total mass m. Then we are getting 2 by 3 into mr square. If somebody is asking you radius of gyration, you can find out by equating it equal to mk square. I'm just trying to make you recall that there is something radius of gyration. Don't forget that also.
Into
That
root
is
2
also
by
clear. Okay.
That is equals to MK
This
square.
is I. And very important formula now. And this formula we will be using to find out the moment of inertia of sphere. So first we derived it. Therefore, I derived it first so that I can use it now to find out the moment of inertia of
Solid spheres.
solid spheres. Let us make this is a solid sphere. Let us say now, and I will write it, even if it looks like or it doesn't look like whatever. But I will write it as solid sphere. So that it is right. It is solid sphere. Wait a second. I think I have a better way to do that. Okay. Solid sphere of radius r, and take the
Mass M.
axis as usual. 3 axes I am taking, but although we don't need these 3, I will find out about any one axis and it is the same thing. I can find out about it. Why I am doing 3 here. I think here 1 will be enough.
Sir,
But how to draw? Wait a second. I am just thinking how to do. Wait a second. Means how to make the diagram. How to do I know, but how to make the diagram I'm thinking about that. Okay, let me do it. Let me try once. I will make here this one, and then this one I will do, and then I will resize it and place it here. Why I did that? Why did I do that? Because
It contains
I
hollow sphere
want to
integrate
take-
solid sphere, sir.
I wanted to take a small
all
sphere,
elemental spheres.
yes, elemental sphere. It is a
Yes, sir.
elemental hollow sphere. So I can say that a solid sphere can be composed of several small elemental hollow
Hollow
spheres.
spheres.
Yes.
So this hollow sphere has different radius. It has small r radius, and the total radius was capital R. Think like that.
Capital R.
And for this hollow sphere, it is easier to find out the moment of inertia about this one axis I will take. So what is the net moment of inertia of solid sphere? Solid sphere moment of inertia will be equal to moment of inertia. I told you before, I will write it as dm into k square integral. That will give us net moment of inertia.
Yes, sir. For K.
What is k square here? K for this will be, it has small r radius. So it
Small r.
has k as dm into
Small r square.
R square.
small r square into 2 by 3. Because it is a hollow sphere, no?
Yes, sir. 2 by 3 R square is equal.
2 by 3 into r square. And what is dm? Dm will be equal to rho is the volume density. Rho is mass per unit volume, m upon 4 by 3 pi capital R cube.
Cube.
So what can be written as dm? Area of the
Will be rho
sphere,
into
sorry, area of the sphere, this sphere, multiplied
Yes,
by
sir.
its thickness. That is the volume. 4 pi r square into dr. Those who are not comfortable with this idea, for them I have another method. Find dm by dr.
Yes, sir. By that above equation.
Derivative of r cube.
3r square. 3
3 3 cancelled. 3 3 get cancelled. Then we are getting 4 pi rho into r square. That only we got last
R
time.
square.
Same only. Into dr will be
Same
no,
only,
dr is
sir.
dr is here. Dr will come to that side. It will become same. This way also we can do if you are not comfortable with the other this. But I think better to do this way. Who will do the differentiation? I will reduce 1 or 2 steps also. If you are reducing, then it is
Generally
better.
from there only we find volume now, sir, by the integration.
Yes. So this is okay. We are getting dm. After getting dm, I have to put it in our equation. 2 by 3 are constants, rho constant, 4 constant, pi constant, and r square comes here and r square comes here also in dm term. So we are getting r raised to power 4 into dr limits.
0 to R.
Yes, but I will do one thing here now. I will ask you for another case also. For that, I will take limits r1 to r2. That will be for a hollow, thick shell. For thick shell also, I will ask you. But right now, it is okay. For solid sphere, it is okay. Then we will be writing it as 2 by 3 into rho into, or 8 by 3, I can, okay, no problem, it is okay. 4 pi into r raised to power 5 by 5.
5.
But 4 by 3 pi r cube, I can take together and multiply by rho. 4 by 3 pi r cube, take together, multiply by rho. Then I get at last 2 by 3 into 4 by 3 pi r cube multiplied by rho. And no, sorry, 5 is remaining outside. No, 5.
Yes, sir.
And r square also remaining. That becomes at last. Tell me what it
Volume.
becomes. Can you see it? What does it
Sir,
become?
you want in terms of a capital M, sir?
Yes,
2 by 5 mr
that I'm always doing. No, I'm from the beginning itself. I'm doing always in terms of mass.
2
total
mr
mass.
square by 5, sir.
Volume into density equals
2 by 5 mr square.
Yes, sir.
2 by 5 mr square.
Yes, sir. 2 by 5 m square.
So now we are getting by 2 by 5. Here we were getting 2 by 3. Okay. So we are getting now there will be so many terms to remember. So keep just learning 2 by 3, 2 by 5.
2 by 3 hala 2 by 5 square.
Then 2 by 5. After that, now can we find out for a thicker shell? Thick shell. Thick shell with the inner radius,
R1.
with inner radius R1 and outer radius R2. Just in our this equation itself, we will just change the limits. And one more thing, rho will not be m upon 4 by 3 pi r cube in that case. In that case, first of all, rho will become
Change, sir.
m upon 4 by
3 into pi into R2 cube minus R1 cube.
cube minus,
R1 cube.
this is one change. Second change will be there. How many numbers we are putting, not putting the numbers. Numbers are, I think, 8 and 9, whatever, although it doesn't make a difference, but okay, better to keep sight of how many formula we have to remember. This is rho. Next, other thing I will change in this integration. Integration will be, let me write as it is, except that term, 2 by 3 into rho into 4 pi into R1 to R2 and R2, should I do here? R is over 4 into dr. Then what do we get? 2 by 3 into rho into 4 pi into R2 raised to power 5 minus R1 raised to power 5 divided by 5. And answer is 2 by 5 into m into R2 raised to power 5 minus R1 raised to power 5 upon R2 raised to power 3 minus R1 raised to power 3. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
You can do it yourself slowly. Means if you are not understanding right now, no need to.
Check by putting R1 0, sir.
We can check by putting R1 0 and we can verify by that.
Start down.
Right
Sir,
on.
R1 0, R2 is sir.
Right. So this we are getting. Next, we can think of cube done. Okay, one
Similar
interesting
shape.
thing I would like to tell you here. Okay, fine. Let me say if I'm giving you a hollow cube, what will be the moment of inertia of a hollow cube? Can you find out for a hollow cube? You already know the formula for a
Cuboid,
solid, you know, but for
cuboid.
hollow I want to find out. So to find
Yes,
out
sir.
for hollow, there's a very simple trick
Rod
by
So
which
we
we will
can,
find out. If
we
I have to
can
find out.
extend rods now, sir.
Wait a second.
Rod only.
We can do that, but wait a second. Let me do it. I will do it in such a way that it will be kind of surprise also, and it will be very easy also. What is the formula normally? The formula that we are having is ma square by 6 for the solid.
Solid sphere.
Yes, sir.
Solid.
You know that if I take di solid and I write it as m into m, I should write in terms of density first of all. M I should write in terms of density. Then it will become rho into a cube. That will become a raised to power 5
By 6.
6. And then this is I solid. But let us say I want to create a hollow cube. I can create by solid also. How? I will take for the total solid minus total solid. I will take off a plus dA radius, and I will subtract from that a sorry, not radius, but I'm doing a total solid cube. I will take off a plus dA side, and then I will subtract the cube of a side.
Then it is
If I
Okay,
take
sir.
a
You are
plus
taking
dA
last
side,
strip as element.
yes, if I subtract that, then I will be getting that element. Means here I am doing opposite. From element we can get the solid, but from solid also we can get the element. So di solid will be what? Di solid, if I want to differentiate it, then I will be getting, I think, rho by 6 taken common, 5 into a raised to power 4
4.
into dA.
Limits you will apply
Right?
from.
We are getting it.
Yes, sir.
Now, I want to find out what is the mass in that, because normally total mass of this was rho into a cube, but I want to find out the mass because I want to get answer in terms of dm also only, no? Then only it will be the real formula. If I want to write in terms of dm, this will be I for hollow cube, but that also I have to write in terms of dm. So dm will be rho into 3a
square, sir.
cube, sorry, 3a square into
The
dA.
3a.
Then I know what to do here. Now it will become rho by 6 into 5 into what is how to write in terms of dm. dA will become
can substitute,
dA
sir.
will be, I will replace dm divided by rho 3a square. What is that? That is equal to
A square.
let us check it now. What is it?
5 by 18.
5 by 18.
5 by
5a square dm by 18, sir.
18.
Into dm a square.
5a square into dm by 18.
18. Yes, sir.
So the answer that we are getting is dm into a square into 5 by 18. See how easily and how fast we are able to get the answer. And this dm is nothing but, now they will not give us dm. They will give the mass of this as, m. But now that m is nothing but that m is this dm only. That m is this dm only. So we can write answer will be, for our answer will be 5 by 18 into m into a square. That will be for a hollow
Cube.
cube. That will be hollow cube. You can verify this one by using same idea for finding out from solid sphere, finding out the hollow sphere formula by using the same trick. But two things we have to do here. Not only we have to find di, we have also to find out dm, and then we can get
also,
answer.
sir, in terms.
Then we can get answer, because in terms of dm we have to write, and that dm we have to write as m finally. So it will always be helpful. And now after that, in fact, I will not end it here. I will tell you another method to find out the formula for hollow cube. And then by that also, you just remember this, and then we will correlate. We will see that whether we were getting same result at that time or we were getting different. It will also verify our calculation more, we can say strong belief in this formula also. You will develop trust in this. So now, next, after this, one more important theorem which I definitely want to do after that, because these theorems are giving us very much more power to do many other problems which we will not be able to do. Okay. So one formula is now one theorem is parallel axis theorem. Parallel axis theorem. We have still not found moment of inertia of many things. Okay, wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. I think, no, let me do something funny here and interesting here, and that will be helpful for you. Wait a second, wait a second. Where is the, this is that. Let us copy this one once. Copied. And after copying, I will put it here. I am always applying the stretch rule. I forgot to apply for this. I wanted to apply for this also.
Sir, if we stretch.
There's a problem in this.
No,
I cannot
sir,
stretch it, I think.
distance changing, sir, radius.
Just think it is a solid. Okay, if I'm telling solid, then you have to assume it to be solid, because diagrams can be given in any way. So if I'm saying it is solid, then you assume it to be solid. So it is a solid. It is valid. What I'm telling you is valid only for solid, not for the hollow. I will give you the reason for that why afterwards. But first I want to explain something here. So let us copy this and let us save it here, right? Now let us apply. Okay, I want to stretch it this way. One way of stretching, and other way of stretching will be this way. So how would you like me to stretch it? If I want to apply the formula, how would you like me to stretch it?
Egg, sir.
Like this only.
This way it is better, I think, because I have to stretch parallel to the.
That
Axis.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
I have to stretch parallel to the
so the
axis.
distance remain constant.
Yes, now the distance remains constant. It means if it has radius r, it has semi-major axis A, and this has this is B. And if I want to find out what is the moment of inertia of this, then tell me what is the answer now. 2 by 5.
2 by 5,
MA square.
MA square, sir, MA square.
Yes.
MA square here.
MA square, sir, MA square.
Normally it is this, but now I'm giving it as, sorry.
Radius as
I'm
A.
doing- No, wait a second. First of all, why I'm doing that? I should say major axis is, means it doesn't depend on, see, it is our minor, no, it is major. So I should have called it as A and this as B.
Study
But
ellipse,
anyway, it is,
sir.
but then we can write it as 2 by 5 into M into B
B
square.
B square.
So we are able to find out moment of inertia of this thing we call as ellipsoid. What we call it? Ellipsoid.
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 Yes, so for moment of inertia of ellipsoid, we are able to get so easily 2 by 5 into M into B square. Very easy to obtain. Okay. And
Sir,
yes,
can we find for an egg? Egg-shaped thing.
can we find for a
Egg-shaped thing.
what shaped ring?
Egg shape.
Don't call, you are saying contradictory things. Ring also and egg shaped also.
Oh.
Boy. My God. We can find out for the elliptical ring you are saying, huh? Elliptical shape. For elliptical shape, can we find or not?
Yes, sir.
Let us think about it. What? Okay. Before that, I want to explain one more important thing here. After that, you think about it. You will be able to answer yourself. Can we do that or not? Some students do this thing. You tell me whether they are doing it right or wrong, and if they are doing wrong, where they are wrong. What they do? First of all, I tell them this thing. Let's say this is a hollow sphere. Then they compress this hollow sphere by moving it down and moving it up, and then they turn it into a flat disk. And then they say, compress it from, means bring these masses, bring all the masses lying in any other plane, all to XY plane. This mass was not in XY plane, but I brought it here. It is in XY plane now. It is not in XY plane, but I'm bringing it in XY plane. Then we are turning it into a flat disk or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then moment of inertia, and I am moving in what way I am moving? I am moving exactly parallel to the axis or not?
Yes,
Parallel
sir.
to,
Exactly parallel.
Yes, sir.
Then
Parallel
moment
to
of-
axis, sir.
then moment of inertia of this solid sphere and this disk, will it be same or not?
No, sir.
Sir,
Why
solid
not?
It won't be same, sir.
Why
Sir.
not?
It is a
I
matter
told
of
you-
stretching, no, sir.
Mass will vary, sir.
But we are depressing.
Mass will be changed. No, sir.
The moment of inertia
So
of
let us
this,
think, sir.
the moment, let me finish. Moment of inertia of the disk which we are obtaining. Moment of inertia of the disk which we are obtaining will be same as the moment of inertia of the hollow sphere, from which we are making it by compressing it in such a way.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it will be same, but this will not be the formula for, so what is the formula for our disk? Formula for our disk is coming out to be 2 by 3 mr square, but we have already found it before. It was coming out to be mr square by
mr
2.
square
Which
by
one is
2.
right? Both are right. This is for non-uniform disk, because this disk will be non-uniform now. It will not be
Okay,
obtained
sir.
as a
Due to
uniform,
compression, it changes mass.
Yes, sir.
because
Understood.
this mass here comes to this area, same area, but this mass here has larger area on this plane, on this sphere, but when it comes to the disk, then it has lesser area. So here density becomes different, and here density is not uniform now. It is a non-uniform density disk. So for this non-uniform density disk, what will be the moment of inertia? If somebody asks, then
2 by 3
definitely
mr
this will be
square.
same as before.
2 by
But it does not mean that for any uniform disk also it will become 2 by 3 mr square. That is stupid thing to say. That will not be right. So whenever we are stretching, then we should keep this idea in mind, that by our stretching, is the density remaining constant or is it changing? When I stretch the solid sphere into elliptical sphere, ellipsoidal sphere, so not sphere, obviously I should not call it sphere. When I stretched into ellipsoid, then I was already knowing it, that the density remains same. In this case, density does not change.
Yes, sir.
And because the density does not change, therefore the formula remains same. Otherwise, the formula for a uniform ellipsoid will be different if it is turned into a non-uniform ellipsoid. But by stretching it in this way, it will turn into a uniform ellipsoid only. How do I know it is turning into a uniform ellipsoid? How do I guarantee it? I can guarantee it in this way. If I have a height h here, and I make this height 2h, and if I have a radius r here, then I have to make it also as 2r. I'm stretching
2r.
uniformly all the sides. So if I'm stretching uniformly everywhere, then density is becoming rho by 2. Everywhere it is becoming rho by 2, because when the same mass occupies double the volume, when the same mass occupies double the volume, then density will become obviously halved.
Half.
So density is
Half.
becoming, so density everywhere is becoming same. It is not changing as long as I am stretching it in the same way everywhere. And here I am doing that only. I am stretching it same everywhere. So definitely, therefore, the formula for are able to obtain directly by just using the formula for sphere only. But such thing, if you start such logic, if you start applying here and then think this is not wrong here, this is the formula for non-uniform disk,
Non-uniform disk.
but this will not be now for a uniform disk. That will be a mistake if you start thinking that this is the formula for uniform disk. Same thing happens here when I turn a ring into a ellipse. Then same thing will happen, something like that. It will be a non-uniform ring. That ellipse will be non-uniform. That will not be uniform ellipse. Reason is, you want to see why it happens non-uniform. See, if I want to stretch, let us say, along this axis, then this this mass here will come to this place, but this mass here will come to, I think, over a larger length. This mass in smaller length is coming to larger length, but this mass in same length is coming to same length. Understood?
Yes, sir.
This mass, if I want to turn it into ellipse, here like this, if I want to turn such kind of ellipse, then I notice, let me change the color. This mass is not stretched. This mass is of same length here. But when I am shifting this mass parallel to the axis, this mass comes here, this mass changes into bigger length. So this is changing into a bigger length, this is changing into same length, one is changing, see, this is changing into same length, this is changing into a bigger length. As a result, it is a non-uniform ellipse obtained. So therefore, for a uniform ellipse, the formula will not be same as that of a ring. Understood?
Understood.
Right. Next I can think of it. This is a, by the way, I'm talking about elliptical frame. Means it has no, so inside it is not there, nothing is inside. But if I talk about a elliptical plane, elliptical sheet, then I think we can still use the formula for, can we use? I think we can use, yes, we can use. Let me do that one now. If I have a
Disk.
elliptical disc, disc first of all, and I turn it into ellipse. I stretch it into a, how to, wait a second, I have to,
Fine.
This way. I am stretching in this way, let us say. And now, let me take one axis here and other axis this side. Parallel to which axis I have stretched it? I have stretched it parallel to our x-axis. Then, moment of inertia about x will remain same as before. And before what it was, if it is radius r, now it is whatever is this distance, I don't need to know. Initially,
R plus.
when it was a circle, when it was a disc, then it was having radius r. Then what was the moment of inertia at that time? What was the moment of inertia at that time when it was having r radius? At that time,
M square by 2, sir.
M square by 2, sir.
Yeah,
It's M square by 2.
because it was diametric axis, and now also it will remain same. So
M
I
square
for
by
this
2.
elliptical sheet, it will be same only for elliptical sheet also, and for this also. I is equal to m r square by 2. About x-axis, about y it will change. Reason is about y we are the
Distance is
are not-
varying,
Same
sir,
is.
for every element.
Same,
Yes.
sir. Because we are
Yes, but about x it will remain same. Okay, so you got it so far. Now, having done all these cases, one important case I will ask you, and then after that I will move that to other theorem. That important case is of a cone, hollow cone. Wait a sec. Let me first make it proper diagram for the hollow cone, if I am able to do that or not. So the diagram is not that much appropriate, but you understand as if this is a hollow cone. Okay, looks like hollow cone only, although.
Yes, sir. So
Now
many.
let us say this is our,
Top.
this is one axis, and I want to find about this axis only. So no need to draw other axis. I think this is enough. I want to find about this axis only. What is moment of inertia about this? It is a uniform hollow cone of mass m and radius r, and height, if you want, height is something h maybe. What is the moment of inertia?
By taking elemental range, we can do.
If I give you an element here, and if I take a projection of this element on this,
Yes, sir.
will it turn into a uniform disk or non-uniform disk? Tell me that thing. Will it turn into a uniform disk or non-uniform disk?
Uniform
Uniform.
only, sir.
Uniform disk.
Uniform.
How do you
Only
know?
that.
How
Yeah,
do we
just
know it is uniform
displacing.
disk? How do we know it is
Displacing,
uniform
sir.
disk?
Not
Only,
compressing.
that means some part of mass only, everywhere it is gaining now, sir, on the base.
Not this boy saying displacing or not compressing. Not that. That is not the reason really. For a hollow, what is this boy saying?
That's only we
That
need
is-
to talk about.
I don't know what he's saying even. If I say case of hollow sphere, there also it was displacing only, not compressing. What does it even mean? If it is displacing, then it is correct. If it is not displacing, then it is. What are you even talking about? Whether you compress it or you displace it, it is same thing only. I can say I'm compressing it in this direction, then I'm making it turn into a flat disk.
Okay, sir.
That does not tell us. That does not tell us whether it is uniform disk or non-uniform disk. Whether it is uniform or non-uniform, I have to check. This material which was in this length, that material is now in same length here everywhere, or it is changing into a different length. Imagine this is one area here. This is now converting into this area here. So this
Changing, sir.
slope, this slope is how changing really? How is it changing? Tell me. This slope is everywhere same. In the case of
Sir,
now you are suddenly saying yes, please don't be so much illogical that quickly when I said this thing, then this, before that you just now only you were contradicting. That should come really in your mind. You should be thinking a lot about it, and you should be really feeling that is it true or not. Not because I said it, so it is true. Not like that. You should really be feeling it. Otherwise, it is not understanding at all. Otherwise, you are just learning only. This is the area here. Area. Okay. And if I want to take the vertical component of this area, then the vertical component of area will be dA cos theta. But this theta angle is changing for all the area elements or not?
Yes, sir.
So vertical component will be different everywhere. So if I want to take the vertical component, I can see that vertical component is coming out to be dA cos theta, and that vertical component of area means area will become horizontal because area is always perpendicular to the area vector is perpendicular to the plane. If area vector is
sir.
perpendicular, area vector is along y-axis, then area will be along xz plane. We can think like that. So dA cos theta, but theta is varying here. If theta is varying, then obviously we can expect that it will be changing the size of area to a different ratio every time. But here you notice it. This area vector everywhere, is it making same angle with the vertical or not?
Same only, sir,
Everywhere
from radius to theta lines.
Everywhere it is making same angle with the vertical.
Yes, sir.
So when I take its vertical projection, then it will be always same area. So any area taken on the slant height or slant this surface, that will be compressed by the same amount when I make its projection along in the horizontal plane. Or you can think in terms of length. This is length L and this is L cos theta. And here all the length elements are being converted into new length elements, which are compressed by the same ratio. By what ratio these are compressed? By cos theta ratio, and that cos theta is same for all. So here it is, these are not being compressed by different ratio. These are being compressed by the same amount. And if all the lengths are being compressed by the same amount, then we are obtaining uniform disk. And for uniform disk, you already know the formula. Therefore, same formula for that, mr square by 2 again.
Yes, sir.
Again for hollow cone. For hollow cone also it is mr square by 2. Is it okay?
Yes.
Right. For hollow cone also it is same. Next, our one long awaited theorem, that one is parallel axis theorem. Parallel axis theorem. Parallel axis theorem. And this one, let us convert it into text. Important again, very important theorem. And applicable for all bodies, for all rigid bodies. We don't have to take a planar body, or it could be any type of rigid body. It is applicable always. Parallel axis theorem. What does it state? It states that, statement I will not write. I will just give the formula, and formula is itself the statement. I about parallel axis is equal to I about axis passing through center of mass plus mass of the body into distance square. This is the parallel axis theorem. Very, very important theorem. I parallel is equal to ICM plus M into D square. Now let us understand what is ICM, what is I parallel. If I have a body of irregular shape, whatever shape is, it should be rigid body of irregular, it can be any shape, no problem. And if I have some axis passing through the center of mass, this is axis passing through center of mass, and I call the moment of inertia about that axis as ICM. How many axes can pass through center of mass? Obviously infinite axes.
Infinite, sir.
Out of all those, I am choosing one particular axis, and I know about it, let us say ICM value. But what I don't know moment of inertia about this new axis, which is just
Parallel to the ICM axis.
Parallel to ICM.
Yes, sir.
It is parallel to this. Okay. Now, but I know that distance between these two given as D, perpendicular distance between these two is D. This I want to find. We can find I parallel if ICM is known. We can find this if this is known and this is known and mass of this is known. These three things should be known. Mass is known, ICM known, and distance is known. Then we can find out I parallel. And by this formula, how does it work and why is it true? That thing also you should know. So it works because of this reason. If I take one mass here, this is a d distance. This is let us say ith mass, and let us call it Ri with respect to center of mass, RIC. And from the parallel axis, it is Ri. What is the moment of inertia about parallel axis? Sigma mi Ri square. That is I about parallel axis. But I can write Ri as sigma mi into
Ri minus d.
RIC vector
Minus,
plus
Plus RI.
D vector.
yes, sir. Yes.
D vector.
Sum of factors.
D vector is
Of two
this
vectors.
vector. I'm taking vector, which I can write as RIC square plus D square plus 2 into RIC dot D vector. Then we can write it as we are getting a very simple result at last. See, mi, you know what is this first term representing? Mi RIC square.
Of central mass.
About center, IC, sir. That is IC, sir. IC.
IC.
Plus mi d square. What does the second term represent?
D square. I parallel, sir.
I parallel, sir. I parallel.
No, I parallel is total. This is I parallel. What are you doing? Second
Okay,
term
sir,
is not I
okay.
parallel. That is md square.
Because it is
Total mass. Total mass into d square. What is the last term doing then? We already got the answer. What is this last term doing there? It is just there to confuse you. It is very simple term. It is 0.
0.
But how no, not again this boy saying constant means really if that constant is here, then that constant should appear here or not. It is 0. Why is it 0? That we have to prove. That is very simple to prove, in fact, but I want you to think on it and prove yourself. Don't just be dependent on me every time. Mi into RIC into 2 dot D. This I am doing. You know, D is common. No, we can take D. 2 is also constant. I can take out. D is constant. I can take out. But dot product is still there between these. Mi RIC dot D. Now tell me, why is it 0?
Sir, may I tell, sir? Sir, R1C, we have taken R1C, no, sir. R1C means
What?
it is perpendicular to R1C is R1C is perpendicular to center of mass axis, no, sir, and it is parallel to that another axis. So they both become perpendicular. So cos 90 0.
What is this boy saying? My God, this boy will anything. Just thought that it should be 0 and 0 will be possible only if they are perpendicular. If they are perpendicular, then they are 0.
Class
You are making
90.
somehow unnecessarily making them perpendicular, although they are not perpendicular at all. RIC, this angle is here itself. It is clear. It is not 90 degree. RIC and D are not mutually perpendicular to each other. What are you even talking about? Really? Anyone else? Anybody else should attempt? Hmm? Anyone else?
So because of same
Because of same?
plane.
Who told
Because
that
of same plane. No, which they are in same plane. Let us say D, RIC and RI are in same plane. D is here, RIC is here. Let us say, and RI is here. This D vector. Remember one thing. If I take a mass mi here, I may take mass mi here or not. Yes, I can take. Then you assume at that time that time D will be here. Means this D keeps on shifting as we have to always take the plane which is perpendicular to this. Why I am taking the plane always which is perpendicular to the axis? Because when the formula is itself mi into Ri perpendicular. So yes, this is perpendicular. And if it is perpendicular, then whenever I am choosing mass mi in some other location, then there also I have to shift D also in the same plane, which is perpendicular to that axis. Okay. So this, but magnitude wise it will not remain, it will not change, and direction wise also it will not change. So this remains, still it remains same vector D only. It does not change. Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So why is it that? If you're still not understanding, I'm giving you a top view. I'm giving you a top view. In top view, what I will see? I will see this one axis is I parallel here. This is here ICM. And this is the section. Section means when I cut it by one plane, then after cutting by that plane, I will be obtaining some shape here or not by cutting by that plane. So that is the section obtained by cutting by the plane. I'm obtaining some section here, and I'm looking at the masses on that section only. Because this D vector is here, and while this D vector is here, and then I'm looking at all the masses which are within this section. And for that only I'm writing this formula. So what is it now? It is becoming this, we are writing it here like this only, and then this is the D distance here. And I think this one was RIC, and this total was RI, something like this. It was RI. Now you tell me what to do. This is center of mass here. You are losing sight of one very important thing. I don't know what you are doing really. What is sigma mi ri? What is sigma mi ri? Sigma mi ri is the net mass multiplied by position vector of center of mass. But here we are already in which frame? We are in the frame of center of mass. Then what is the position of center of mass in the frame of center of mass?
Same position. 0.
What is the position
0,
of center of
sir.
mass? 0.
Yes, sir.
Then it is 2 into 0 into D. So what is
Yes,
it?
sir.
It is ICM plus
Plus MD square plus 0.
is I parallel. Simple. Because the position vector of center of mass in the frame of center of mass is 0.
Okay, sir.
So this term becomes 0. So we are left with just I parallel is equal to ICM plus M into D square simply.
Yes, sir.
Understood now or not?
Should, sir.
Right. Position of center of mass with respect to center of mass. Position of center of mass with respect to center of mass will be 0, because obviously my position with respect to me will be same origin only. It is at the origin in the same place only. So position vector of center of mass with respect to center of mass will be 0. So therefore it is coming out to be 0 at last. Anyway, this is again very important theorem. So we should remember this one. I parallel is equal. It is more than the other one. Why? Because it is applicable for all kinds of bodies, and we can find out moment of once. For this sphere or for all other bodies, I used to know moment of inertia only about one particular axis. I used to know only about one particular axis in the previous cases. But now see what is the power that it offers us. By this theorem, I am able to find out not only about one axis, but about any axis, as long as it is parallel to this axis. About any axis, whether that axis is within the body or it is outside the body, doesn't matter. It should be just parallel. If it is parallel, distance is known, we can always use the formula. Okay.
Okay.
So it is very, very helpful for us. In several cases, we can use it. Right. An example where I would like to use it is to find out the moment of inertia of a disk about tangential axis. What is the moment of inertia of a disk about a tangential axis parallel to the tangential axis is given, but also given that axis is parallel to the plane of disk. It is in the plane of disk.
Yes.
Mass is M, radius is R.
5 M mass squared by 4, sir.
What is this boy was saying? This is a disk, D-I-S-C, disk. Find moment of inertia.
Square by 2.
Find moment of
square by 2.
inertia about an axis
Yes, sir.
tangential to disk and in the plane of disk. And in plane of disk. And I am not mentioning uniform, but it is always, if I don't mention, you assume it to be uniform. Now, there the distances are R is equal to D here, because this is the perpendicular distance. This is ICM. What is ICM about, and which axis it will be? It will become diametric axis.
Diametric axis. Sir.
And then I parallel will be equal to ICM plus M into D square, which nobody said right, unfortunately.
Square by
M r
4.
square by 2 plus M r square. So we are getting it as 5 by 4.
R square by.
See, that only, sir. 5 square by 4. You said it
You
wrong.
said, you did not say that. You said something else.
So exactly that, sir. 5 square. The other is saying 3 square by 2.
Sorry,
They
sorry,
took
sorry.
10 square by 2.
If you did that, then it was right only. I
Yes,
was
sir.
thinking that you are, but I thought suddenly, I don't know why it came to my mind, but I thought that you are using the formula for the sphere.
No, sir. This one is M square.
Then right. Then it is right only.
Yes, sir.
Correct only. You did it right.
They are thinking that as M square by 2 instead of M square.
For the solid sphere, it will become 2 by 5 mr square plus mr square, 7 by 5 mr square,
Yes, sir.
and so on. Okay. Now, this moment of inertia we have done. Can we go for finding out moment of inertia of the solid cone about its axis, and see what things we are still left with? And let me write those things so that you can remind me that these cases are still left. One is solid cone.
Solid cone.
Number one. Number two. Number two. Paraboloid.
Triangle.
Paraboloid. Number three. We can take
Diameter.
cube with a cap.
Prism.
Means cube with cavity. Cube with cavity. What kind of cavity? That could be spherical cavity or something spherical or cubical, whatever.
Sir, class is up to 8 o'clock, sir.
What is time now? We have time. We still have time.
7:38, sir.
7.4.
Paraboloid cube with cavity, spherical cavity or cubical cavity, or sphere with cavity. Sphere with cavity. What kind of cavity again? Means we can have different kinds of cavities like cubical cavity. This question, sphere with cavity question was of IIT. They had asked that make a cavity, cubical cavity. They asked in that. They asked the case of cubical
In
cavity.
sphere cube, sir.
In the solid sphere, they were asking cubical cavity. Big cube. They were saying cube of the maximum possible size is removed. The cube of the maximum possible size is removed. Then what is the moment of inertia of the remaining part? Something like that was there. This I want to take. And then after that, one other question of IIT I remember. That is something like several such rings in the shape of hexagon was given, and rings were arranged in the shape of one ring, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Okay, this
Yes, sir.
diagram is not appropriate. This diagram is obviously not appropriate. These rings were touching each other at the center. But anyway, it will remind me. It is for me. It is for myself. I will remember this.
Okay. Later you'll draw me
Next,
there.
later I can draw proper diagram. And yes, this case is also important, which I would like to take. At an angle, I discussed at an angle, we can say unsymmetric axis. This axis is not symmetric. It is not symmetric, unsymmetric. Unsymmetric cases. I was taking diametric or I was taking perpendicular axis. Both are symmetric cases. If it is unsymmetric axis, can we still find out or not? That I would like to take. And then one very important case that I would like to explain, that there are, in fact, I should tell you now only. Without proof, I will tell you something now. I will tell you something without proof. After some time, I will give its proof. Okay, if time
Okay,
allows,
sir.
I will give its proof. Otherwise, it is not that much required also. But if you know, then it will be much better. It will help you in many places. So, without stating the proof, I will tell you something now, and that is really very interesting thing. If I have any body of any shape, let us say this is a body. Let us say this is a body, and it has two axes here, x-axis, y-axis. And this is a symmetric body about y, and this is symmetric about x. Do you know or not?
Yes,
About
sir.
x and about y, is it symmetric?
Symmetric.
Yeah, you can
It
understand.
is symmetric. And if somebody gives me moment of inertia about x-axis and somebody gives me moment of inertia about y-axis, then
We can find Z.
we can find moment of inertia. This is center of mass also, passing through
Center
center
of
of mass.
mass.
We can find out the moment of inertia about any other axis passing through the center of mass lying in the same plane, xy plane. And that moment of inertia I can find by this way. If this angle is alpha and this angle is beta, then moment of inertia formula is Ix cos square alpha plus Iy cos square beta.
Wait, how?
That is I. Okay, that is I. You said how, and I said in the beginning only. Don't ask how. Again, just
Yes.
now.
No, sir. I thought you'll explain now.
No, I not now. It will take time. It is time taking. But I thought because it is such a useful concept that although it is time taking to explain, but I think that it might help
Easy
you.
to remind, sir. Easy.
It is
Yes,
easy to
sir.
remember. So therefore,
Yes,
I thought, why don't you just remember it? I will explain if time allows, but not today at least. At least not today. So ix cos square alpha plus ix cos square beta, and it is applicable. It is applicable also for the 3 dimension. If I have 3 dimension passing through center of mass, let us say center of mass, and it is x-axis, and it is y-axis, and it is z-axis, and I want to find out moment of inertia about an axis whose direction cosines are given cos alpha,
Given, yes, sir.
cos
Cos beta,
beta,
cos gamma.
and
Cos
cos gamma.
gamma.
Means
Then
angle with
easy, sir.
x-axis alpha, angle with beta, and angle with this as gamma. Then also I will be equal to same way
Ix cos square alpha.
alpha
I y cos square beta.
cos square beta
IZ
plus
Iz cos square
iz
gamma.
cos square gamma. Then also it is applicable. We can always obtain it, right?
Angle with
but-
the
But one thing I did properly, but sorry, next time for this case I did mistake here. Diagram is I did not make proper. This diagram was proper. Means you notice here I am taking symmetric axis. This axis should be not any random axis. It will not be valid if I take x axis like this here, or if I take y axis
Yes,
like this, x and y here, then not applicable. These x and y axis must be x and y axis
Symmetrically through the body.
of this particular. In perpendicular axis theorem, there was no such requirement in perpendicular axis theorem. But for this particular case, x and y axis must be axis of symmetry. Must be symmetric axis. Symmetric axis in order for this formula to be valid. Otherwise, it will not be valid. Then only this formula is valid. But
Sir,
there are
that means x and y may not be perpendicular, sir.
no. These are perpendicular and symmetric. When I said these are not perpendicular, I said for the perpendicular axis theorem, we were not requiring this thing for the perpendicular axis theorem. This could be any 2 axes. Then also perpendicular axis theorem is valid. But when I want to use this theorem here, then it has to be not only perpendicular,
symmetric
but also
axis.
Symmetric and perpendicular. Yes.
symmetric and perpendicular. Then also it is valid. Similarly for 3 dimension also. So for 3 dimension, let me give you a proper example also. For 3 dimension, if I take an ellipsoid, in 3 dimension, I can take an ellipsoid. This is an ellipsoid, let us say. This ellipsoid has 3 axes of symmetry: x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. So if I want to find out the moment of inertia about x and y given and z is given, and I want to find about random point now, I can find about random axis, sorry, not random point, about random axis. About the random axis passing to the same place, about this passing to center mass only, then moment of inertia will become ix cos square alpha plus iy cos square beta plus iz cos square gamma. If cos alpha, cos beta, and cos gamma are direction cosines of the axis, direction cosines of the axis, about which I want to find out the moment of inertia. But again, ix, iy, and iz, these are x, y, and z are again axes of symmetry. These must be axes of symmetry. Then only it is applicable, else it is not applicable. It has one more important corollary. What is meaning of corollary?
Similar to this.
But corollary means from here only we can get one more important, we can say theorem or something. What is that? That is, if, for example, let us say somebody tells you that in this particular question, we found ix and we found iy, and these were coming out to be equal. In which question? In this particular question. They found iy by calculating, they found ix by calculating, and these turned out to be equal. Then what will be moment of inertia about this axis?
Ix cos.
Say.
Cos square alpha plus cos square beta,
Cos
sir.
square alpha plus
Ix into cos
Cos
Not,
beta.
you are not understanding. You are not
Ix, sir.
understanding. You are not
Ix, sir.
understanding.
Yes,
Ix,
sir.
90 minus
Ix.
of it is I.
Ix.
That
Ix.
is,
sir.
it is
Ix.
such a wonderful thing now that about any axis passing through the center of mass, it will be same moment of inertia if the axis is lying in the same plane. Which plane? XY plane. If
XY
axis is
plane.
lying in the same XY plane, then moment of inertia about all the axes will be same, provided about at least 2 mutually perpendicular axes it is coming out to be. same.
Symmetrical
Where can I use this theorem? I can use this theorem for two cases, two special cases I will use. So then moment of inertia remains same. It will remain same. Similarly here, if it is a three-dimensional body, and in three-dimensional body, in this moment of inertia about x and about y and about z turns out to be same, then these three will be taken out. I will be taken out. Ix will be taken out into cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma.
One only, sir. One only, sir.
Then again I will be same. Then I will be same about any other axis. About any other axis I will be
Yes,
same.
sir.
Okay, so it is really very interesting and very useful, very helpful. So where we will use it? We will use it in one example I will give you first. Let us take one example. Wait a second, just let me make the diagram. This is a, what is it?
Square sheet.
Square.
Yes, sir.
What is the moment of inertia about x-axis? What is the moment of inertia about y-axis? Say it quickly. Now only m is the mass.
Ma square
What is the moment of inertia about x?
MA square by 6.
Square by 6, sir. No, sir. No, sir. MA square by 12.
12, sir.
My God, how will you learn? Ma square by 12, ma square by 12. Iz was ma square by 6. It is not
Sir, MA square by 2 only, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the moment of inertia about any other axis which is lying in the same plane?
MA square by 12 only, sir.
Again, ma square by 12 only.
12 only, sir.
Again,
Yes,
MA
sir.
square by 12. Is it not interesting? Very interesting.
Interesting, sir.
Interesting, sir.
Similarly, if I do for the cube,
Cuboid.
if I do something for the cube, then, oh, sorry, cube, I'm not able to draw it. Wait a second. If I take for cube, then for the cube, what is the moment of inertia about one axis and about the other axis and about the third axis, about all the axes? It will be same. And what will be the value? Find it out. What is the value?
Value is,
Find about any one
MA
axis.
square by 6.
Ma square by 6.
MA square by 6.
We have found it before, so it is same. Then what will be moment of inertia about any axis passing through the center of the cube? Same
MA square
again.
by 6.
Ma square by 6. Again, interesting thing. It will be same ma square by 6 about any other axis. Now let us do for a semicircular ring or semicircular disc. Ring only better. Okay, maybe ring. Semicircular ring I will take. So if I have a same, oh sorry, what is happening here? This thing is okay. Let us take a semicircular ring. So in the semicircular ring, if I ask you to find moment of inertia about the diametric axis x and about diametric axis y, can you find it out and what it will be? First of all, it is semicircular. Don't forget it is. I have told you for the full circular ring, but I have not told you any formula for the semicircular ring. But I am expecting that maybe you can find out. Let us see once. Can you find or not?
We want Ix and Iy, sir.
One thing will be helpful here. One very important property will be helpful. I'm wondering why I did not tell so far. Moment of inertia. Can you write it down? Moment of
Yes, sir.
inertia remains same. I told you already in which case? One by stretching. Moment of
sir.
inertia remains same about an axis if we stretching parallel to that axis. We call it stretch rule. Second is by rotating about axis. I think you know by rotating obviously you know that there will be no difference because
Yes, sir.
if-
Distance remains same only. No?
Same, sir.
if I have a triangle here, if I rotate it other side, bring it other side, then will it be still same or not? Because the distance
Same
between the
only.
points are same only. It is just rotated only, right? By rotating it will remain same. By reflection. Reflection. What kind of reflection? By take a axis as a mirror and then reflect it about that mirror. That kind of reflection. Or take an axis perpendicular to the plane of mirror and then reflect it. If you take that way also, then also no difference. If you take an axis perpendicular to the plane of mirror and then reflect it, then also it will be same.
Yes, sir.
So by reflection, but how to reflect? Reflect in such a way so that by the reflection, either you take a reflection perpendicular to the axis or you take a reflection by the axis itself. These two kinds of reflections are allowed. Okay, other reflections we cannot have. Why these two kinds of reflections? Because in these reflections we are not changing the distance from the axis. So that thing we should always keep in mind, that mainly idea is that distance from the axis.
These all are same, yes, sir.
Distance from the axis should remain same. Keeping these ideas in mind, now I will ask you something here and you have to tell me that. This is a, what is it? Wait, let me make the diagram. This is a rod, let us say. For this rod, about this vertical axis, we know the formula. And what will be the formula for little different case? This case now, where same length, same angle also. This is theta, this is theta, this was theta, but it is now, I have done this thing now. This is, let us say, A, B, C. I have taken A, B in the same way only, but
That reflection you have taken.
I have reflected
Yes,
C
sir.
to B part. I have reflected about this. By reflecting about this, I got this here. And then I formed a new shape. And what will be the moment of inertia of the total shape, this of length L? We know moment of inertia was M L square, L perpendicular square, L perpendicular
Square
square,
sin square theta by 12, sir.
Same will be for this also.
Same.
About this axis. We should keep in mind what is the axis. Axis is this here and axis is this here. So about the axis, we are getting the same moment of inertia for both the things. Understood or not?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Let us use the same idea for one more thing I would like to say here. If I divide body, how many points I made already? 1, 2, 3. Fourth point, fourth important point. Where should I add this? Maybe I'm adding it here. If by dividing a body, moment of inertia gets divided, moment of inertia gets divided in same ratio as masses, then the formula of moment of inertia, remains same for the divided body also, or we can say then for the divided body, or the body obtained after division. This you will not understand. This is just a loose statement I'm giving. I'm trying to write something down properly, but it is not proper. When I will explain, you will understand what I mean to say here. So, but okay, let us read again. If by dividing a body, moment of inertia gets divided in the same ratio as the masses, then the formula of moment of inertia remains same. Or I can say, then the radius of gyration, remains same. Now let us understand this part here. For example, if I have a, why does it happen? Are you understanding this? Why does it happen? Why the radius of gyration?
From how it will divide the body?
That anyway you divide it, but while you are dividing it, if the mass also gets divided in the same ratio as the moment of inertia, then the radius of gyration of each divided part which we are obtaining, if I am dividing into two parts, then each part will have same moment of inertia as the same radius of gyration as the original body. If say each part will have same moment of inertia as the original body, that will not change. Okay, let me give example of it. Let's say this is a disc, and I am dividing into two equal parts. And if I divide into two equal parts, then mass is becoming
Sir, m by 2, m by 2.
m by 2, m by 2. And what about moment of inertia? I think common sense also tells us that moment of inertia equal contribution of this, equal contribution of this. If there is
Yes,
equal
sir.
contribution,
Yes, sir.
then moment of inertia also gets divided into half. Moment of inertia also gets divided into half. This mass was capital M, and this mass is, let us say, small m.
Capital M by
Small
2.
m is equal to capital M by 2.
Capital M by
Then the moment of inertia also gets divided into half, and
Half.
the mass also gets divided into half. Then the formula for this
This is okay, sir.
total I was equal to m into what was it? It is about diametric axis, because it is diametric axis, so it is mr
This
square by
called
4.
R square by 4.
Yes, sir.
Then for this semicircular disc, it will be now about the same axis. Let us call this
R
moment of
square
inertia
by
I dash. This I
M R
dash will
square by
be
8.
I by 2, and I by 2 will be equal to m
R square by
r
8.
square by 8, but that is equal to m by 2 into r square by 4, and that m by 2 is the mass of this again. That is equal to m into r square by 4. That is our new I dash value. So notice the formula remains same. Before also it was m r
Yes, sir.
square by 4. Radius of gyration. What is the radius of gyration now? If I write radius of gyration mk square, then k remains same. I think it is simple to understand this way. It is very simple to understand. Wait a second.
Okay,
Let
sir.
me finish, please. Let me finish. Because I dash divided by I is equal to m dash into k square divided by m into k square. And that is, it is k1 square and it is k2 square. But when I dash upon I is same as m dash upon m, then these will cancel each other. Then we can say k2 will be equal to k1. As simple as that. K2 will be equal to k1. So radius of gyration will remain same. That will not change. Can you remember it now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And if we remember this, now you say something. What you wanted to say? Now you say something.
Also, dividing any other way means how, sir? Half means we can understand easily.
No,
Any
same
other
way. Did you understand here? This is not for half. It is for any ratio. You are
Okay,
not
sir, okay,
understanding
sir.
this.
Okay.
It is for any. It is for any ratio, because I could have taken I dash by I as any other ratio k. Then this is k, and mass ratio is also k. So not capital K. Okay, let me take it something else. Some c ratio, c constant, whatever it is. That c will cancel c. Then k1 is equal to k2 again.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Understood or
This
not?
one I did not. Yes, sir.
Right. So we can understand. So it is valid for all the cases, not only for half, only for all the cases. So why is it useful for us? It is so useful. If somebody gives me semicircular disc and asks to find out the moment of inertia about this axis, so quickly I can answer now, same as for the full. And if you don't remember for the full, then I will pity you. You should remember for the full by now. About the diametric axis, it is mr square by 4. And then about this axis, for this, it will be again mr square by 4. Right or not?
Yes,
Yes, sir. Right, sir.
Very good. So now you have really understood a lot. You have understood a lot. Just very few things are remaining, which I will clarify later on. First of all, this is not derived. I will derive it if time allows. Otherwise, you will remember. No need to worry. And these cases, tomorrow I will take solid cone, paraboloid, this. These few cases I will take, and then I will. Okay, so let us end it here. And remember, trust me, what I have told you, if you know everything which I have told you so far, then I think by that also you will be able to finish 80% of the questions of this week. 80%. I am telling 80%. Okay.
Okay.
So you start doing now. Start from
Sir.
HCV. Start. Moment of inertia formula of HCV are given in the beginning of the exercise. Last time when we were doing torque questions, before torque, there were only questions of moment of inertia. So
Yes,
those
sir.
beginning questions you can do now. Okay. Those beginning questions of the exercise. Okay. Let us end it now. Let's end the meeting.
Sir, can you post this in YouTube, sir?
I will do that. Okay.
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Ask it.
Sir, you told reflection of that
Yes.
property, no, sir.
Yes.
Any one part we can reflect means it's enough, sir.
Yes, that also is okay, no problem. I because see, main idea is don't forget that idea. What is the idea? Idea is the distance
Should
should
remain
remain
constant, sir.
Remains constant. sir.
constant. As long as the distance is remaining constant, means I can do this thing. Okay, wait a second. Let me give some example here. This is the, let's say, what is happening now? This is not working. My pen. Okay, working. This is, let us say, some body here, and I am taking this part, and I am taking its reflection only, and remaining I am keeping as it is. I can take the reflection of whole, or I can take reflection of one part of it. No problem in that. But the distances are remaining same, and I am happy if the distances are remaining same. But obviously, if I do such thing that I take its reflection and I convert it into a body which is disconnected body or something, then that does not make sense, because the formula of moment of inertia we are applying only for the rigid bodies which are
Rigid
connected
bodies.
together. So it should be rigid body.
Sir.
That thing always will be valid. Okay, then it will be valid. This
Okay,
this statement will understood now. Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I am ending now, and fine. You can see, you can refer these videos again. Okay.
So,
Bye, sir.
okay.
Bye.
Thank you.